where the fuck I left off because I paused for hours and was just taking care of my personal shit. And like, I'm like really bored sometimes of posting these videos, but I feel like I have to. I feel like I can feel like spirit prompting. I can feel spirit prompting me to do this shit. And so I just do this shit. I just gotta do this shit. You know? I guess, that's why Spirit paused my job so that I would have the time to do this shit. And because my job is just really time consuming, but I like that I can stop work whenever I feel like, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Is the beauty in being a bartender. It's probably it, and the tips are the only things that, and the fact that you can dress however the fuck you feel like, are, why I like bartending. Plus, I can play music and um, pretty much basically do what the fuck I want. Okay, because like I'm anti-system, anti-matrix. I'm just anti-corporate society. I'm just anti that shit. Anti-authority in some regards. Anyway, so as I was okay, where am I on now? So we know that bitches like Beyonce, Rihanna, and them bitches. Um, like I said, stop just thinking that these bitches are the only bitches who are mongrels here. Mongrels are mixed breeds, okay? Basically, all descendants of the transatlantic slave trade are motherfucking mongrels. We are all fucking mixed. None of us are full Africans or descendants or ancestors, not descendants or kids or descendants or ancestors are not just Africans. Okay, we got Chinese ancestors, we got European, Caucasian ancestors, we got all kind of motherfuckers in our ancestry. Okay, so get that in your thick heads. But for these light skinned bitches, some of them call themselves yellow boned, some call themselves red bones. What the fuck ever, because it really don't matter if you're dark skin or light skin. Everybody falls under either yellow tone or red tone. And I think that's where the red bone, yellow bone phrases come from. It's just really shallow. Anyways, you could be blue fucking black. You fall under a certain tone. You yellow tone or you red tone? Are you warm toned or cool toned? Okay? That's what it all boils back down to. Okay. Um so I just wanna like dispense what spirit wants me to dispense, but I just feel like I have to always be teaching. It's just a bit annoying because then these videos turn out to be way more longer than I anticipated or want them to be. But I just don't like just saying things without explaining them. That's just me. I like I don't like just putting things out there without explaining them. Okay. Guys, I was like watching a reading before I get back onto what I was saying yesterday evening, and the woman in the reading, she was like, the spiritualist, she was like, there is a spirit that's guiding me, a deity or a dead celebrity who's who has attached itself to me and has been looking over me, watching over me, protecting me. And that person, it's like the person's gifts and abilities and certain mannerisms that they possess, I have them within me because they have attached themselves to me. Guys, when I heard her say that, and she went on to talk about, it could be a deity, and clairaudiently and clairsentiently and all the clairs, what I'm picking up on, they're not just one entities that have attached themselves to me, because like my body is like the machine's like host for spirits. It is, there are deities, demons, um dead celebrities, not just celebrity, but teas, okay? More than one. And I spoke to you on several occasions about the whole connection between me and Aaliyah, okay? And it's just, when I saw that video, I'm like, oh my God, this is like if this ain't a confirmation, then synchronicities aren't real, and synchronicities are definitely real. That was like a heavy confirmation. I don't know, that just came back to mind a while ago, and I just had to just say that. Which explains why I'm so afraid of airplanes and traveling via aircraft. I'm afraid of traveling via ships too, because I understand Poseidon. I know how dangerous the seas can be. I know there are so many spirits under the seas, in the seas, um, and some of them are thirsty for blood. And I just feel that in my spirit. And you, you could be the best swimmer. That got shit to do not with nothing. That ain't got shit to do with shit. Because guess the fuck what? The motherfuckers will still fuck you up. If you all the way in the middle of the ocean, no matter how good of a swimmer you are, motherfucker, you will drown. If sharks don't eat your ass, or some other sea creature. Anyways, let's get back to the point. So, yeah, these bitches were light skinned chicks, but ever since they got into the industry and they realized that the whole reason why they were given preference into the industry was because they were lighter than their peers. Their peers who are apparently of African descent. Not just African descent, like I motherfucking said, but you get the gist, okay? Because you dark skin, motherfuckers don't think to themselves that, hey, there was slavery and there's a lot of mixing going around, especially in the Western Hemisphere. And that's one of the main reasons why the East don't like our ass. The people in the East don't like the West, because it's a lot of mongrels over here. I'm a mongrel too. We all mongrels because we all fucking mixed, bitch. Okay? I'm a black chick with Asian eyes and Caucasian nose. Like, go fucking figure. Very slim. I don't got the stereotypical African body type. I'm short, slim, thin. Let me just say that. Okay? And it's like I got a little African ass, a little. I got a little of that. It's not too much, but it's not too little, of the Caucasian or the Asian gene. And my legs, when I look at my legs and I look at Asian women's legs, they are like pretty much so similar in terms of the shape and the proportion of their legs to the rest of their bodies. Like their midsections tend to be longer than their legs. They tend to have really short legs. And when I spoke to my grandma the other day, and she was like telling me about, her ancestry. And I believe she said her dad was mixed with Chinese and her dad's dad was Chinese. I was like, oh, that's where I got my almond shaped eyes from. And apparently, I'm the only one of me and my two older sisters who shares the same father, because my grandma, that's my father's mom. Apparently I'm the only one uh that almond shaped eyes dominant gene, gene is actually dominant in. So Apparently, that gene is recessive in my older siblings, and it's dominant in me. And I feel like, two, the shape of one's eyes has a lot to do with how they perceive the world on a physical scale and a spiritual scale, and both intertwined. I feel that strongly. So I feel like, that too is the reason why I'm the black sheep of the family, and why I am the only spiritualist in the family, why I'm not a Jesus freak, why I'm not religious, why I'm so rebellious, and I'm anti systematic, anti corporate, anti this, anti that. And on top of that, the wisest, not tooting my own horn, the smartest, the enlightened one, the initiate, and also initiator. Okay, I'm just fucking saying, and the initiator, I just gotta say, because they've been like keeping this truth away from me, and they've been trying to keep me in the dark, because entities out there have influenced them to, people out there have paid them to. And I just have to say that out aloud, because it's a way for it's a way of me reminding myself and keeping myself awake. It's a way of encouraging myself that, hey, I am who I am, and I am on the right path. So it's not me tooting my own horn here, guys. Okay, you gotta tell yourself at times, you the shit, you the bomb. You don't need to tell anybody else that shit, you know? But we just reasoning here. I'm just talking. I'm not saying that to every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. I'm saying it to you guys. And if there are not many of you, and that's okay. I don't need a crowd. I don't do well in crowds. I mean, if you know anything about Heyoka empaths at all, especially Heyoka empath beats, so Heyoka empaths are the most powerful. They're the most intuitive. I'm not answering that person because the most blood clot know that my mom is at church. So, Heyoka empaths are the most intuitive, and blah blah blah. I'm just gonna pause and just wait until this person just leaves. Because everybody knows she goes to church on a Sundays. Don't freaking come here. Okay, guys, I can be such a bitch sometimes, but I just don't like when I'm having a vibe and I'm by myself and motherfuckers just interrupt me. Like, these motherfuckers, they know my mom goes to church on a Sunday. The fuck are you doing here? Okay? Church still a blood clot one. I'm not gonna be that bitch to tell you that, hey bitch, she's at church. Okay? Like, certain things you just don't go to people's house on a Sunday. For no fucking reason. For business or no fucking reason. You just don't do that shit. Don't fucking do that shit. And when motherfuckers are dumb, I ignore them. You know? Like I'm doing right now. Anyways, let me just continue my fucking video. So, yeah, so when they realize how it really is in the industry, they start lightening their skin. They start lightening their complexion. Cause we know Beyonce wasn't that light skinned. Just as we know she had a slightly beaked shaped nose. Okay? And we know Rihanna wasn't that light skinned either. Like, go back to her earliest interviews when she just came onto the scene. And yeah, she might have had a little tan, but trust me, it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that great of a tan. Okay? The way you see these bitches now, and you see them next to white, Caucasian bitches, is like, they're basically almost on the same skin tone. It's like the difference is, um, a lot of black people, most black people tend to be yellow toned. Like light skinned black people, they tend to be yellow toned. So there is going to be this yellow hue that they have, while a Caucasian person, they're going to have this pinkish hue to their light skinness. So, um, yeah, so you can, I mean, like, you do have people of African descent who are red undertoned, because I'm a red undertone. My sons are red undertoned. They got that from me. And I know that for a fact that we are red undertone. I remember when they were babies, and um, their father is obviously yellow undertoned. But I remember they would have these red marks in their backs, and it would be like someone was abusing them. I'm like, or it would seem like people's handprints were like printing out in their backs. I'm like, what the fuck? And was always curious about it, and I would research it. And there's a point in time where I was worried that they had meningitis. They don't, but I'm just saying. But I don't worry so much like I used to when I was much younger, like in my 20s, my teens, and prior to them ages. But because I'm like, whatever is meant to be will be. And I've learned enough to know that you can't change what's destined to be. When you go against the flow of the universe, you're just stressing your fucking self out. Just don't do that shit. Just accept shit as they are and as they're meant to be. And whatever creates a struggle isn't meant to be, but whatever flows smoothly is meant to be. That's how you know something's meant to be. You don't have to, like, even relationship wise, like, you don't have to uh, discard your moral values and your ethics and, your boundaries to be with somebody. I mean, if it is the right somebody, your boundaries, they're okay with your boundaries. They don't ever question your boundaries. They don't question your ethics and your morals. As long as that's your somebody. Like in Jamaica here, we have a proverb: every one of them stick a bush. And when I say whore, I don't mean hoe like a whore. Okay? I mean like hoe that you use to plow the earth for farming. Yeah. So every one of them stick a bush, because you use the hoe to plow the earth, and sometimes you use it to dig up, like, what do you call them, tree stumps and stuff, whatever that's in the soil. You dig up the soil, so it's like you're mulching the soil to soften the soil. So shit like that gonna be there, in there. So pretty much that size O cannot manage the soil because of the whatever that's in the soil, whatever bush in the soil. There is another O that can manage. That's my interpretation. Pretty much that's it. But if you want to take that proverb technically, yeah, fine. It's okay. Every one of them, or every hoe got them stick or dick a bush. But you don't gotta change yourself. And I learned that. I didn't take long for me to learn that, but I learned that. You know, um, I've been with a couple of guys, and like they were attracted to me. And when they get with me, they're like trying to influence me to gain weight. I'm like, nigga, if you knew that you liked thick girls, why the fuck did you get with me? And pretty much, like, at first, like, I would not pay them any mind, and then I found myself wanting to gain weight at a point in time. I was like years ago, like maybe over 10 years ago. But then I was like, this don't make no fucking sense, because like a lot of men compliment me on my size, and they say they love my little size. I'm easy to lift up and lift. I'm easy to carry. I'm easy to manage, and it's sexy, and they don't like the big old mumpy them and blah. No offense to the thick women out there. I'm just saying based off of my experience. And I'm like, imagine me go stress myself, and cause myself and do shit to gain all this weight. And these niggas, they don't, like I said, a lot of them don't know what them fucking want, guys. A lot of them don't know what they want. It's like they don't have a mind of their own. It's like they're just following trends. It's like the only decision a lot of people make and are capable of making is a decision to follow fucking trends. That's stupidity. That's not independence of character. Independence of a character is knowing oneself and sticking to your guns, sticking to whatever it is that floats your boat, that turns you on, that appeals to you, regardless of what is the popular uh, thing out there or the popular preference. You don't give into the status quo. That's having independence of character. Okay? So, I never once during the BBL, the slim thick era, that I ever felt like I wanted to get a BBL done. I'm sure a lot of women could get that done if they wanted to. Just skin out your pussy and sell your pussy and collect some money, and you get, like shit like those are not hard to come by. You get your visa. You have countries where you don't even need visa to go to that does them surgeries. You have plastic surgeons in Jamaica who be doing that shit too. So you just sell your pussy, sell pussy, con man, sell pussy, con man, save money, and pay to do that shit if you don't want to work, or if working and saving your money is taking too long. It's easy. There's nothing hard about being toxic. There's nothing hard in being toxic. The real work is being non-toxic. Okay, so I be like telling people that. It's not hard to get a car. It's not hard to get a house. It's not hard to get all these shit. You just be an opportunistic motherfucking bitch and toxic as fuck. And you can get these things in a jiffy. But getting these shit the honest way, now that fucking shit is hard. And y'all gonna be realizing that a lot of these people that you held in high esteem are nobodies, because all this shit that they be flaunting and showing off, even these businesses that they supposedly launched and formed, and all them shit came from from toxicity, from them whoring and prostituting themselves. And there you are, looking up to them, thinking that it was just hard work and ambition. Hard work my ass. Okay? Yeah. So, so they realize that, there is a preference within specifically the black community, because a lot of black people hate themselves. And they played on that by lightening their skin complexion even more. And some got nose jobs and blah, blah, blah. And you can always tell, because if you look at Beyonce's offsprings and Rihanna's offsprings, and like compare them offsprings to even Sierra's offsprings, it's like Sierra, her skin complexion hasn't changed drastically. I mean, her skin looks better, more luminous, more radiant now, but I wouldn't say lighter. There's just a luminous uh, 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 glow to it, a radiance to it, compared to back then. So a bitch is taking care of her skin, but she not bleaching her skin. But like Rihanna and Beyonce, and soon Tyla, because she has a tan look, but I guarantee you, if she lasts for a couple more years in the industry, she is gonna be looking as ghostly and pale as Rihanna and Beyonce. And the thing is, their offsprings expose them, because if you look at their offsprings compared to Sierra's offsprings, and even Kelly's offsprings, I'm going to specifically use Sierra. Sierra's offsprings are of a way lighter complexion than Beyonce's and Rihanna's. And I know that Russell Brand, no, not Russell Brand. What is his name? What's her husband's name? Russell whatever. Russell Brand, ain't that nigga who used to date Katy Perry was married to her? And Russell Simmons, that's the other nigga who's gonna get exposed because that's one dirty, low down nigga. That nigga was married to Kimora Lee Simmons, right? And the weird ass thing is these motherfuckers be having these daughters, and I wanted to touch on his daughters, specifically the older one by Kimora Lee. That girl already be doing plastic surgery, getting fillers and Botox. I'm like, oh my gosh. And that's not the only reason why Gen Z is aging so horribly, but that too is one of the reasons. Because those plastic surgery procedures are meant to be done when you're way older, not even my age. Like when you're in your late 40s and 50s and 60s, to like kind of like bring a rejuvenating look to your skin and your body, your face. The fuck you need damn shit when you in your 18s and in your teens, in your 20s or even 30s. You do not need them shit. And when you look at that girl, you can tell that she's already on Botox and fillers. I'm not asking you. And these men prostitute their daughters. They fuck their own daughters, like I said about Jayz. And I briefly mentioned that in a video, a recent video, not the last one, I don't think it was the last one. A video before that, the one before this, a video before that. I don't remember which one. And shortly after that, R. Kelly's daughter revealed that he molested her. And this is happening to a lot of these celebrity kids, and they're not talking about it. The mamas aren't talking about it either. You know, and some of them mamas don't even know. And the thing is why this is so, I would not be surprised if Diddy's daughters came out and say the same thing. The thing is, it's so humiliating. It's humiliating to admit as a woman that you were raped by a man who you're not even related to. Moreover, to reveal that a man who was engaged in your procreation fucked you, that shit is humiliating as fuck. And it's not a wonder or phenomenon why they don't talk about these things. It's humiliating. And especially if you're of the same sex, like a guy, like Jaden Smith and Will Smith, the way they allow Diddy to fuck their son. It's so humiliating. Shit like that is so fucking humiliating. People use shit like that, those against you as ammunition. Because like when you going tit for tat with people, some people, they don't set boundaries as to, okay, we're arguing, I don't like your ass, but guess what? I'm not gonna use certain shit that happened to you in your past as ammunition, because that's low down, like below the earth, below the fucking ground. I'm not even gonna say earth Gaia, because Gaia is beautiful and magnificent. I would never depreciate Gaia like that. But that's low down, so some low down, 6 feet under shit. Certain shit you don't tell people. That's low. That don't make them look bad. That make your ass look horrible. That make you look heartless, cold, wicked as fuck. That make you no better than the person who did that to that person. Because it's like you co-signing what that monster did. But I understand why they wouldn't want to talk about that shit, because it's humiliating. And everybody got enemies, even if you're a fucking angel. I mean, like, Jesus had enemies. And Jesus was Jesus, if he was real. You feel what I'm trying to say? So, everybody got enemies, pretty much. And a lot of these enemies are not ethical motherfuckers with morals. They will use anything as ammunition. So I understand why they wouldn't want to reveal certain things. It's just humiliating as fuck. I mean, like, I feel humiliated for them, and that's because I'm Heyoka and Heyoka empath. I feel for other people. I feel their emotions. So it's just horrible. But I'm telling you, a lot of these celebrities out there molested their kids and or has allowed their kids, their offsprings, to be molested by people in the industry. That's a fact. And all that's going to come out. I remember years ago at the beginning of this 12-year cycle, I'm not sure if it was 2021 or 22, I revealed that this year, the 5th year, wasn't going to be an easy one because Scorpio represents hidden truths, okay? And the 5th house, which is Leo, is the sun. It's like light being shone on hidden truths. And Scorpio also rules the genitals, the sex organs. And a lot of these hidden truths are going to be about sex, sexism, sexually related offenses, and abuses. Yes, anything that got to do with sex. This person was a transgender, people didn't know. For years they've been a transgender. This person been homosexual. This person been bisexual. And a lot of this is coming out. This person been fucking their kids. This person been fucking their kid, their grandkid. This person been fucking their mom. This person been fucking their son. Like grown fucking people, grown son, grown mom, fucking each other. A lot of this shit is going on, and a lot of this shit's being revealed. I said this on my Instagram account, Funny Kusu Joso, on Instagram. I said this on that motherfucking account, that a lot, there was a series of, I did a series, the karma series, and I did a series on children trafficking, where in which I spoke about a lot of children being trafficked, and the CPS being a part of it, social services being a part of it. And I watched this video like about a week ago or days ago. It wasn't even a week ago, or maybe it was a week ago, where in which this woman was talking about, she was in the system, foster care, social services system, and she was at one of the Diddy's private party freak off, and she was saying the CPS, the social services are a part of it, because a lot of times they get these children that quote unquote nobody wants, okay, and what they do is they sell them to traffickers, and the traffickers sell them to hosts or lease them to hosts, or I don't remember what she called them, other motherfuckers. It's like a ring of sex trafficking. And because they don't got people who care about them, nobody questions about their whereabouts. Oh, they just ran off. And I remembered instantly. I remembered the series of that I did on my Instagram account, trafficking. I think I do have copies of that. I do have copies of those. I have copies of all of those. I have that on a YouTube channel, and I have that backed up on so many in so many places and on so many things. I have that backed up. Children trafficking. And that I did that 3 years ago. That would have been 2021. And I did, what was the other series I was talking about? About a lot of sexual nasty shit being revealed, specifically during the 5th year of this 12-year cycle, which we are currently traversing. The 5th year, and a lot of this shit you hear coming out, do not question them, because I already saw this shit years ago, that shit was gonna be revealed. And you think you've seen anything yet? Wait until we enter the 6th year, 2025, the year of the snake. That's the Six of Wands. Shit hidden, being thrown out there. And there's going to be a lot of fighting, a lot of attacking. I prophesied this on my astrology channel, YouTube channel, the Six of Wands, the year of the Six of Wands. But there's going to be triumph for a lot of victims. So it's a dangerous, it's a deadly motherfucking year. Next year, 999, but it's also the six, and the sixes are gifts and protection for those who deserve it. Victims, those of us who have been victimized for years, decades. I'm hearing even centuries. So we're talking about reincarnation and blood clot. Six of Wands, victory for victims. You heard what I just said. Spirit just said that. Like these flows that I have, they're not me of myself. They're from Spirit. Victory for victims. So that's the motto for 2025. Victory for victims. Damn! I should title this reading, this channeling, Victory for Victims. And then like bracket the topics that I'm talking about in this. That's the fuck what I'm gonna do up in this bitch. Okay? And the true, like everything's sealed off. This case against P. Diddy ain't gonna be stretched out for motherfucking years. It gonna close off next year and sealed. His fate is sealed. Whether they're gonna kill him in prison or he gonna kill himself or they're gonna do a snappy verdict, sentence to life or capital punishment, death row, motherfucker. And there is some motherfuckers who are gonna be put on death row next year, no doubt. He could be one of them. For the wicked shit that they've been doing for decades. Motherfucker, you killed Tupac. Whether you pulled the trigger, yes or no, you paid. That's why do you think a motherfucker who pays a motherfucker to kill somebody gets more years in prison? Motherfucker, if you didn't pay that motherfucker wouldn't have killed that motherfucker. So guess what? You the murderer, motherfucker. Whether you the one who pulled the trigger, yes or no. So you a murderer, Diddy. Jayz is a murderer. Beyonce is a murderer. Rihanna, they are murderers. A lot of sacrificing and shit. I've been telling you, bitches and niggas. Aaliyah, I told you they orchestrated her death. She's been screaming that shit at me for years. I spoke about this on my Instagram account, Funny Kusi Joso, and about Beyonce being a part of that shit. And her being bought by Jayz, and her being destroyed by him just the same, and being tied to him. I spoke about this shit. Okay? And, here the noisy bugs, they be coming out. I'm just gonna take myself and go upstairs to get away from the noise. But, yeah. I've been telling you guys. Okay? So, I wanted to mention and about the whole Tyla thing because like everybody said that she's doing the most. It's what the light skinned chicks in the industry do. They do the most because society boosted their egos into thinking that they're the preference. So only natural for them to act that way. They gonna act that way because society said, "Hey, you the preference," and they're not used to certain things. They're what I call a fret and Friday. They're not used to certain things, and so shit gets to their heads, and blah blah blah. You know. She is giving me a similar vibe, like Chloe Bailey, and you see how she is working out for Chloe. Not so well. Because the thing is, when you're overly sexual, you this is really traumatizing for your viewers, for your fans, because you make your fans, your viewers become overly um sensitized, and that can go against you. So somebody was playing like a song in a video I was watching, because like, what's going on? Because I saw a lot of posts about um Tila is hated on, and people are turning away from Tila, blah blah blah, and she's doing the most and stuff like that. And there's a song, I don't know the name of the song. I don't remember if it was a collaboration, but she was like in the song, so I'm gonna paraphrase because I don't remember word for it. Like she gonna show him what a real African pop star is like. Um, and I think she said something like, they never seen an African pop star so beautiful, some shit like that, but something like that. But I wasn't realizing instantly the shade, because what they love to do is to pit these light skinned women against darker skinned women in the industry and start rivals. And these light skinned women, they know what they're doing. It's the same thing with Spice and Shensia, right? Um, I'm not gonna say Shensia is all that bad. I mean, she's done some songs in the past that has made me like, what the fuck? Even the Dolly song, that was like whack and lame to me. Um, and I could tell that she was throwing a lot of shade at Spice, and especially the mere fact that she had people in the video who uh, are anti-Spice, and this is like, for them, they think they're better than the darker, quote unquote, competitors, because like they're fighting battles that, most of them are fighting battles by themselves, with themselves, and it's just crazy, because I'm not gonna really get into that right now, but it is what it is. Like, you see for yourself, right? um Even a lot of these women that, like, for example, Rihanna was competing against, turn out to be doing a whole lot better than she's doing right now. And I'm not talking about like, being a billionaire isn't the be all end all. Your net worth, which eventually people are gonna realize is not real, her net worth, and like how she got to certain things. Um, there's a lot of illusion surrounding that as to how she got to certain things. And there's a lot of blackmailing in the industry, and we see that coming out where Diddy is concerned. They found a lot of terabytes of videos, and it's just like I made a comment on somewhere, and someone was like, I was like, Shantia was at Diddy's party, and someone was like, doesn't mean that she was a part of his private party, and when I think about it, like, the mere fact that you are at the party, I don't see why you would not be a part of the private party, what they claim to be the private party. You feel what I'm trying to say? And I'm not gonna really even get into that. I'm just gonna leave y'all to think for yourselves and connect the dots and sum shit up. But they tell themselves, a lot of these women, even dark skinned women, get in the industry, start bleaching their skin, and then they, that is like an ego boost for them. Like, I see it a lot of times with even women in Jamaica, dark skinned women who bleach their skin, and once they start bleaching their skin and they start having, projecting this lighter skin complexion. It's like automatically they're different people, and they have this sudden confidence boost. And what it is cockiness. It's not confidence. It's cockiness and arrogance, because it's fake. It's a facade of confidence, but it's not confidence. It's fake confidence. So it's really arrogance, cockiness, illusion. Cockiness is that confidence that's not validated, that doesn't have a sound background or foundation. There's no logical reason for it. It doesn't have a firm foundation. You remove the bleaching cream and that's gone. Okay? You tamper with it in any way, shape, or form, and it crumbles. Now that's not confidence. Not in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so we need to first get that soaked and registered and etched into our subconscious before we go and say, oh, this person is confident and that person, because confidence is pure and high vibrational. Now, cockiness and arrogance and facades and illusions, those are low vibrational. Okay, so that's pretty much the energy that Chloe Bailey's on, because she's dark skinned but not that dark skinned. And that's the energy that Tyla is on, and all these chicks out there, even the dark skinned ones who start bleaching their skins, that's the energy they're on. They're just cocky because they think that they are in uh, the preference category, whether they bleach their way there or they were born that way, like Ice Spice and Doja Cat and the other bitches out there. Okay, and okay, hold on. I am gonna say this in regards to the whole Netta thing about review about Jamaican food. That was a plot. That was a plan to try to tarnish Jamaica's reputation. Everybody knows that Jamaican cuisine is like top notch, top tier, especially where Caribbean and Western cuisines are concerned. We are top tier, and you know who's behind that? That same Pisces bitch, stunning Pisces bitch. Now I will admit that hotel food, um, if you want the best food in the Caribbean, you wanna venture out to these roadside restaurants and local restaurants rather than resort restaurants. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna leave that right there for now. Yeah, but that's what I pretty much wanted to say. Um, yeah. Oops, my burp been stuffing my gut. It's a good omen, yeah. Like my boys were like telling me that yesterday when I was asleep on the ottoman next to the window, there was a lizard on a branch next to the window, and a John Crow flew down and snatched the lizard off the branch on the cherry tree with its talon and flew away. I'm like, John Crows don't normally come that close to civilization and to people. It's just so weird that a John Crow would come so close to the house with the window being open, and it wasn't even a dead animal on the premises, and the place didn't stink. I'm like, I think I remember them saying that to me yesterday in my sleep, and I forgot. And then they were like saying it again not too long ago, and I'm like, wow, I gotta share this omen with you guys. Yeah, I had to like come upstairs because these noisy bags just came from church, and I really don't want to forget about anything. Seems like it's gonna rain again, but let me just say this to you, pissy ass bitch. Okay, I love my island. I discipline my people. I tell them their shit at times because, just like the scripture says, that God chastises those whom He loves. And I have no plans on migrating. Guys, that's Aaliyah in me. Fear of flying. I also thought about too that if I were to become famous, if that's Spirit's will, that someone will try to, like, I have that fear of someone sabotaging my jet or the aircraft that I'll fly on, like one day, so they can take over rights to my music and capitalize off of my death. And the reason why that fear is so heavy on me is because her spirit is within me, you know? I feel like she realized, along with the others that are around and with me, that a lot of people who she thought, and just speak from her perspective, who she thought had her back, who she thought genuinely loved her, um, don't. And it has really affected my psyche. I mean, like being a medium, being a host for spirits is not for the weak. You have to have certain mental aspects, because this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for weak people. I always thought that I had a weak heart, and I always thought of myself weak. But seeing all the things that I'm destined to do and that I've done thus far, um, I'm a badass bitch. I'm really strong. I wonder if it was that John Crow that flew down yesterday. It was yesterday too. I was watching some videos on TikTok about and they say deity. She's a deity, like Hecate, and apparently when you see crows and some other types of birds, but they didn't say John crows. They can be a sign and omen of her. But I feel like she's not limited to just crows and ravens yet. They said crows and ravens. I feel like, I mean, like this woman was talking about the eagle, that she saw an eagle come really close to her, and she's never had an eagle come that close to her on her property, and the mere fact that I was laying right at that window where the John Crow snatched, is like the cherry tree branches extends to the window, and the John Crow flew right by me in my sleep and snatched that lizard, and my sons were there as observers and witnesses. It's just really dope. It's like in my sleep, I'm protected and I'm being brought messages. Because I believe I dreamt yesterday, and like the dream is like coming back to me, comes to me, and like sometimes I dream, and the dreams, I get snippets of the dreams, they come to me in fragments, um, like over days, a period of days, a period of weeks, months, even years. And I'm like, wow, I dreamt that, and that's what that meant, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not for the faint of heart, because you take on these people's fears, and it can fuck you up, like for me. But it's like I needed those energies to guide me, because I'm such an earth angel. I mean people well. And, they've enhanced my spiritual gifts, because the thing is, when I'm around somebody and if I feel an air of jealousy, if I feel, because remember, guys, I'm an Heyoka empath. We're mirrors, okay? So we project to you the energies that are within you. So if we act and behave hostile towards you, that's because you're hosting hostile energies. You're hostile yourself. And so I realize that anytime I find myself around somebody and I feel at least even an incy bit of jealousy, I take that as a sign and omen that that person is jealous of me. That's how they feel towards me because um, I don't really, I'm not susceptible uh, uh, to being jealous. I'm that detached from the matrix. And whenever I feel those low vibrational energies, I know I've mastered uh, differentiating my own energies from others, and I know that that's not my energy because I know who I am, I know what I'm like, and I know my own propensities, my own nature, and I know how I feel towards people, how I would feel, and how I would not. And so basically, I just would just know that okay, and that's how I can know when certain people are watching me, spying on me, they're jealous of me, or competing with me, feel intimidated by me because when I'm around them, I feel those energies. And sometimes even when I'm not around them, I mean, like spirit will just bring them to my consciousness, and I'll be like, oh, that's how that person feels towards me. So it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak-minded too, because when you take on these people's fears, um, like it can drive you crazy. But I feel like I needed the PTSD. I needed to not trust people. You know, I always think the best of people. I never use other people's fat to fry other people. I never use people's fat to fry other people. And like, especially like relationships, when I start new relationships, I never use that old person's fat, my ex's fat to fry my new partner's fat. I don't do that. I I observe you, and I'm very cautious, and whatever problems that I may have with you would stem from what I observed about you and nothing to do with anybody I knew prior to you. So I needed the PTSD. It has helped me in being cautious and really careful, you know, especially the older and older I get, and so on and so forth. And so it's like I said, mediumship is not for the faint of heart and weak-minded because like it can literally drive you crazy. And you know, too much is given, much is expected. And spirits, if they see that you're not capable of handling their presence, they're not going to use you as a host. They're not going to entertain you. They're not going to be your guest. You know, you're not going to be their host. Simple as that. I mean, a lot of people, they try to reach out to spirits and they try to call on them. They don't pay them any mind because they know that these people are just doing shit for show and to just talk and tell and show and tell. They don't really have it in them to handle certain things, you know. All that's in your aura, your natal chart, your frequencies that you exude. It's not what you say out of your mouth, it's just who you are. 69%, that's my battery. I said next year's the 601s. Mercury and Sag. Virgo is a part of it's somewhat like hidden, and that's why Virgo is the hermit and the transitioner. And like Grim Reaper, we take spirits from the physical realm to the spiritual realm. And I'm hearing vice versa. I never said vice versa in this scenario before, but I'm getting that. Um, I said something like that in last night's recording that I'm not gonna put. I'm gonna upload this one instead. But I'm trying to remember in regards to what. Anyways, I guess I shouldn't focus on that. But yeah, because like it's Mercury and Gemini, they're ruled by Virgo, and Gemini is more of the physical aspect of Mercury because it's the words, while Virgo represent rules the thoughts, and as a result, it's like um, Virgo is more what's the word that I wanted to use? It's more like abstract or hidden, you know? And that's like similar to like Scorpio energy. That's what they have in common because Scorpio does rule death and transformation. And if Virgo is a Grim Reaper, you know that Virgo works with Scorpio, with death. You know, they bring death, you know, so, or they work with death. And I mean, after all, Scorpio is in their seventh house. They are the seven of cups. Um, and they are just they're, you know, that they have in common with Pisces, and you know, we share a wavelength with the Sun in Pisces, Sun in Virgo shares a wavelength with Sun in Pisces, is that, you know, we do things um, and we like to not really, I mean, like, we do things discreetly, we're private, while Scorpios are secretive. There's a difference. Being secretive is you go out of your way to keep something hidden and hide something. But being private is just, you're not gonna blatantly put something out there, but you're not gonna go out of your way to keep it a secret. Okay? You do your best to keep it private, to not put it out there, but you know, you're not going to go out of your way to keep it private. Scorpios, they are a bit more clumsy. I mean, like, they're not that careful like Virgo, because Virgo rules, you know, these Virgos are analytical, very careful, cautious, very OCD and stuff like that. So they're really careful about things. Scorpios are not so careful. It's a water sign and they're ruled by their emotions. They're the king of cups. They are literally ruled by their emotions. And so they are not cautious, they're not careful like Virgo, which is the earth sign, and as ruled by Mercury, which is very thoughtful and analytical. But Scorpios, they like to hide their hands, kind of like Pisces. And the mere fact that they're water signs, because Pisces got their ninth house in Cancer, while Scorpio got their first house in Cancer. The thing is, they're the Seven of Pentacles. So it's not about what you really want, it's what you're really good at. Let me say it this way. Hopefully, in the future, I'll be able to bring this across much more uh, clearly and understandable, or understanding. Is that a word? But okay, the Seven of Cups is like something that's a secret, and the Seven of Pentacles is truth that's like there's like concrete evidence to something. It's like truth that cannot be denied. And that's the water signs because they're ruled by emotions. And when you're ruled by your emotions, they're influenced by emotions, ruled by emotions, consumed with emotions. And when that is the case, it's really hard. And you got to have certain aspects that pretty much dumps down that, you know, the emotions. Because, like I said earlier, the emotions are yang, they're negative. Yeah, so you're ruled by those, you know, fix it up for yourself. So for the water signs, there's the Seven of Pentacles. Like, they always want to be hidden and want to hide things. They do want to 444. They want to do things and for it to not like shady shit and not for it to be known that they're the ones doing it. But the fact that they're heavily influenced by the moon, their emotions, it's pretty much impossible for them to accomplish that. Therefore, they're the Seven of Pentacles. Okay? So if you understand astrology and if you're observant and you're wise, um, you'll know who's doing what and what they're doing by observing. So that's how I was able to like figure out certain things because I'm very analytical. Plus, I have the spirits guiding me and showing me things, deities, demons guiding me and showing me certain things, spirit animals guiding me and showing me certain things. So, plus, knowledge that was embedded in my DNA from the beginning of my existence. Those never left, regardless of the countless reincarnations that I've had. Um, they never left. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I think I touched on whatever. In regards to Diddy, I don't believe he should ever get bail. Even if he offers $1 trillion, even if he offers an infinite amount of money, he shouldn't get bail. He is very intimidating. He is gonna scare the fuck out of all his victims, the ones who've spoken up and the ones who have not yet spoken up. Okay, and why do you think he really wants? I mean, like he knows that every phone call that is made, right, specifically by certain inmates, prisoners, are heavily scrutinized and listened to. He cannot get to do what the fuck he wants to do in prison, and that's one of the main reason. The truth is, two reasons why he isn't able to really get out of prison, and one, people who love to imprison people and torture people cannot handle it themselves. So most likely, he's probably claustrophobic. He's a Scorpio, and Scorpios are heavy with fear. They have a lot of fears. So most likely he is claustrophobic. Okay, that is one. Right? They fear poverty, and that's one of the reasons why he has been recording people in certain compromising situations and positions to use it against them to secure the bag, as well as to secure himself so that they won't ever think to expose him because he has leverage against them. He has something over them. And the other thing too is the main reason why he shouldn't come out is because he wants to intimidate the fuck out of his victims. He should not be allowed to get out of prison. He should stay there, whether it's prison or jail, whatever. He should stay there until the end of his trial. He should not be allowed outside for a second. And his mother too. I wish they could find something. I saw a video where in which they claim that they have arrested his mother. I don't know how true that is. I didn't watch the video. I just saw the title of the video. But she too, I feel like could be doing some quote unquote damage control by trying to pay off victims, intimidate victims, pull certain strings for him that she is a part of the reason why he is the way he is. She's a nasty skank. She's a nasty hoe. She's a nasty bitch. Okay, she's a freak. And she's one of the mamas who I wouldn't be surprised to find out for a fact that she was screwing her own son. Because people have spoken that they have an inappropriate relationship for a mother and son. And there are things like that. There are people like those who exist who screw their own kids and screw their own parents, and they think it's okay. They think that kind of shit is okay. So she too, I wish they could find some form of evidence, some form of incriminating evidence that they can use to lock her away, and as many people associated with him as possible. Because as long as they're out there, these victims are not safe. Okay, so that's one thing. Um, what else did I want to say? Uh, yeah, so he shouldn't be allowed bail. Not even for a day. You know, you just imagine the amount of damage control he tried to get done within a day. Just imagine the amount of destruction he would cause in a day. That nigga would pay people in prison to beat his ass to make it seem as though he is in danger. Well, guess what? This is how I would put it as a judge. Well, guess what? If they gonna kill you in prison, well, in prison you gonna die, but you're not getting bail. Savage, just like how he has been or had been with his victims, just like that. You know, is manipulative is like a narcissist and a manipulator personified. He is wickedness personified, and he's not the only one, right? And what else did I want to say? Um, uh, so, okay, yeah, I also wanted to mention this. I remember mentioning this in previous recordings that I didn't post. Um, I've been saying that this 12-year cycle is not a good 12-year cycle to procreate for so many reasons. There is a defective gene in Sun in Scorpio, and pretty much his 12-year cycle is Sun in Scorpio, 5000 Scorpio. Um, I hear like the government of Jamaica be talking about birth rate is low and they're encouraging more women to engage in procreation. I'm like, um, when you motherfuckers increase, when you motherfuckers make it more habitable, make Jamaica a more habitable place for people, then y'all motherfuckers can tell us about procreating some more. Other than that, shut the fuck up. Because ain't nobody about suffering nowadays. Nobody like want no stress nowadays. Nothing like that. So whether the women are aborting these kids or they taking buttloads of contraceptives, Plan Bs, I give them a thumbs up. Because a lot of these niggas don't even deserve to be dads anyways. Okay? Pitney now weird. You cannot keep a man by getting knocked up for him time and time again. Or any at all. Save yourself the trouble. I mean, like, if he is gonna give you some ultimatum that, like, it's either you give him a kid or y'all go your separate ways, just go your separate ways from now, because eventually that's what's gonna happen. At least now it'll be easier for you because you won't be bound to him for life via a fucking child. Okay? So people need to think about the future. I mean, I guess because I'm so futuristic, I think about shit like these implications of today's decisions. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna make a decision today that's gonna affect me for the rest of my life. Fuck that shit. You know? I mean, none of us are perfect. I've made mistakes before. I've done things that I wish I'd never done. You know? But as much as you can, not do shit that are gonna negatively affect you tomorrow. try to limit that shit, you know, for your best interest. You know, because at the end of the day, we are the ones, mothers, we are the ones left in that shit. Oh yeah. When these men are gone and they abandon us and stuff like that, the thing is, if we don't center our lives around these kids that they leave us with, they're gonna label us as bad mothers and this and that. Not that we should give a fuck because I mean, like, you're not even there for your kid. Were you to wanna uh, criticize me as a parent? Like, you know, at least I carried the kid for 9 fucking months. You know, what did you do? You know, but at the end of the day, to save ourselves from the tit for tat and the drama, and having to deal with negative niggas, or having to tell our kids that, oh, your father's a douchebag, to save ourselves, all of that, and just not have kids. I said this years ago that niggas are gonna be begging bitches to have kids for them. And trust me, that prophecy is gonna be made manifested. I'm not asking you. Like, women are fed up. Like, trauma, they're like, like, how do I explain this? The trauma that our parents and foreparents went through when we were in their wombs, okay? Those pass on to us. And they affect us in some way, shape, or form. And I don't want to talk about slavery right now because every race has been enslaved at some point in history. It's human nature to imprison people and to put people into captivity. It's not a particular race's nature, it's human nature. Okay? Because I know some people are going to be on that shit. But I'm just talking about, say for example, our mother's been through certain things, having kids, and they thought that, everything would be peaches and cream, a nice house with picket fence and all of that shit, in a car and blah blah blah. It didn't work that way. The disappointment passes to the child, and that creates a form of trauma, whether in the form of uh, genetic PTSD, because I feel like there's such a thing. And it just makes you super cautious. It's not just the experience of you growing up poor, not being able to have certain things, and seeing your mother struggle. It's something deeper than that. That's way beneath the surface. That's within the subconscious Scorpio energy. You know, Pisces energy. It's just there that lingers, and that goes beyond experiences. And it's coming from genetics. So, more and more, you have women being born with that energy, with them frequencies, and are like, you know how many women in their late 20s, 30s, even 40s who do not have an offspring? And I don't care, some of them literally never got pregnant. That's one thing. Not all of them have had abortions or are on contraceptives. Some of them aren't even sexually active. Some of them, yes, have committed abortions, have been on contraceptives, have taken Plan Bs, and so on and so forth. But the truth is, a lot of them really are afraid of becoming mothers because of the trauma that was passed on to them when they were just little fetuses in their mother's wombs. And this was caused by men low vibrational, toxic, masculine energies. Okay? And these, like women, like, we don't give a fuck about having offspring. Just these men. They're trying to prove that them on a gilding. They're trying to prove that they not useless. They can get kids and they can carry on their family names. That's their burden. That's not our burden. So therefore, they're the ones who are gonna be begging women to knock, to get knocked up by them. And let me tell you, if you ain't willing to put in the work as a nigga, you not gonna be one of them niggas who's gonna get you any kids or any descendants, okay? Yeah, straight. Because then women are gonna be like giving a lot of stipulations, setting a lot of stipulations for these niggas, and rightly so. Like, you gotta be making this amount of money. You gotta have your own vehicle. You gotta buy meals. You gotta build me a house. Okay, I gotta have my own house. You gotta have your own place, or the house gotta be in my name, so that if we break up, I have my own place. So these are stipulations that I'm putting into place before I give you a kid. And rightly so. Like, I think it's fair because you get with these men, y'all in rent houses, and you get knocked up for them, and then you guys break up, and then there you are with a kid or kids, and you don't even got your own place, you know. And you have few men who are really fair, and they help their the mother of their kids just the same, even though they're broken up. But how many men do you find to be like that? Very few, very few. Like 1% of the population of men. Okay? So things are gonna get better for the feminine energy. I see that in the future, and I'm happy. Because it really pissed me off the way the masculine energy disadvantages the feminine energy. Pisses me off. And that's why I have made it my point of duty to discipline low vibrational men, not to take crap from them, and not to settle with them. Not to accept less than I deserve, you know, and their lesson. And that's a part of my purpose as a male empowered. These men, their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunts, these women who are raising them, they set poor examples for them. They don't raise them proper. And so they grow into men who have no respect for the feminine energy. They grow into douchebags. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll show you how to treat a woman. But trust me, it's not going to be a lesson in a way that you're expecting and that you are going to like. Yeah. And I discipline them, and then they disappear. Because a part of teaching somebody is The disappearance is a part of it. Yeah. You know, you did something wrong. I talked to you about it like so many times. You really hurt my feelings, you crushed my feelings, and then I left. Don't think that because you're now crying and you're begging me to come back, that I'm gonna come back. I'm not gonna come back. I'm moving on. Whether it's with myself or someone else, I'm moving on. Because guess what? Once I say enough, I do enough, and I'm done. And once I'm done, I'm done. Like, we're not gonna be going on and on around in this cycle of you saying you're gonna do better and you just do worse. We're not gonna, we're not about that cycle. So I must go. I must genuinely leave, and you must genuinely grieve me because I genuinely left. And then you start going through the dark night of the soul, death, a spiritual and mental death, and finally decide that, okay, you're not going to be the same again because the pain is too much and you got to change. And you are forced to change. You have no other choice but okay. That a certain way of being has cost you someone or something very valuable. And you don't ever want to feel that loss ever again. And so you change. And so you change. So women gotta be serious about business, you know. Say what you mean and mean what you say. You leaving, you gotta leave because if you keep saying that you're leaving and you're gonna leave and you're still there, you're not gonna be respected. You're just gonna be taken as a joke. And you're gonna eventually lose respect from respectable people and people that you really don't want to lose respect from. Trust me. I mean, like, we should give total fucks about what people think about us, but we should give at least a little fuck. And it should depend on the type of people. There's some people who their fucks matters, you know? What they think about us does matter and should matter. Like the spirits, deities that have our backs. Certain demons, you know? Certain ancestral spirits, spirit animals, you know? We should give fucks about them. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who have our backs. For guiding us, protecting us, favoring us. It is not man that favors us. They influence man to favor us. They don't just get up and favor us. Because like we don't always strive with them. Our spirits don't always agree with them. Because when the spirits want us out of certain situations, The spirits, they create chaos. And when they want us in a certain situation, they create favor. You may get rejected today, but tomorrow you're gonna get accepted. Mhm. I think I should leave it there. But before I close off, I just remember I was saying this. I love how talented my people are. It's an island of super talented people. I think the frequencies here are good for that. Being born under these frequencies, it's not just being here, but I feel like it's being born here. You know, it's like magic. It's like fairy sprinkled fairy dust. This area of on this area of the earth. You know, I just feel that it's just really magical frequencies. And I feel like too because it's so mountainous. That's another thing. You know, a lot of talented people come from here. Got Grace Jones, Maxi Chris, Andrew Donalds from Enigma, who did a version of the Beatles all out of love, and I prefer his version, to be honest. Bob Marley, Gregory Isaacs, Barry Salmon, Peter Tosh, uh, Jacob Miller, I think that's his name. Um, could go on and on and on. There's so many of them. The Whalers, Bob Marley, Whalers, World Lost. These are a lot of current artists now. Then, you know, the artists then and now, and the ones to come, you know, they're just very iconic. And I love how patriotic our people are. We don't hide where we're from. Like a lot of people from other Caribbean islands, and I saw someone post this on I think under a video or no, somewhere on social media, and they were like saying that most people when they think about the Caribbean, Jamaica is what comes to mind, and someone posted under that one of the reasons for this is Jamaica, when, like, for example, like the other Caribbean islands, when they go overseas and people ask them where they're from, they be like the Caribbean. When they ask a Jamaican where they're from, the Jamaican is like, I'm from Jamaica. And sometimes you don't even have to ask them because they be like wearing a lot of Jamaican colors, which are very famous now. Once you see the Jamaican colors, you know that's Jamaica. Even if you wear the Rastafari colors, people automatically assume you're from Jamaica. Not everybody who wear them colors are from Jamaica, but a lot of Jamaicans do wear them colors as a sign of telling the world, you don't even have to ask them. Nigga, I'm Jamaica. I'm Jamaican. I'm Jamaica. And so, yeah, Jamaicans are very patriotic. You know, a lot of people from other Caribbean islands, they go to these first world countries, these other countries, and they try to sound like the people from these countries. They try to act like them. They try to mask where they're from. It's like they're ashamed of where they're from. But Jamaicans are like, even if it's somebody from a zinc house or a zinc yard, or it don't really matter where Jamaica they're from, whether the ghetto, the suburbans, or the wealthy places, the suburbs or the wealthy places, they repping Jamaica straight. You know, there is no shame in where we're from. You know, we're just a proud set of people, proud in a good way. You know, on the yin uh, aspect of the proud spectrum. We're just a proud, patriotic set of people. You know, we always represent our country. Even here, we be wearing our colors. You know, we have a lot of cultural holidays here. We're just a very patriotic race of people, nation of people. You know, we have Emancipation Day, we got Independence Day, we got Heroes Day, we have Heritage Week. We have it's just a whole lot of cultural celebrations here. We have Grand Market, you know, that's, you know, Christmas Eve, um, um, what do you call it, shopping and stuff like that. And it's just a rich culture. So, yeah. So our people love the culture, and in turn, the culture ends up loving us. And when you love yourself, that's how it is. You draw people to you, you attract people to you by loving yourself. And so people love us because we are a nation of people who love ourselves. And it's simple as that. So for all the haters out there, go and fix yourselves. And you know, you can't beat us, obviously. Might as well you join us and just join the uh, Let's Celebrate Jamaicans and Love on Jamaicans parade and trend and bandwagon, because you can't defeat us and you won't ever be able to defeat us. And that includes you, Sun and Pisces, bitch. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Well, not out, but I see you you'll hear me in the next audio recording. Namaste.